What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all are having a great afternoon. Just getting finished up for the day here. Had some work to do and everything, and I've been excited to get this AMA going with the DRACO Leopard gang and find out all the details on it and everything. So I appreciate everybody joining the stream. If y'all please smash that like button. If you're not subscribed already, please do. And I'll go ahead and bring these guys up so we can jump into it. All right, got one here. Oh, we got he's on video. You got a good connection now. How's it going,
I got
guys?
good connection, brother. Good connection.
Nice. Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear, man. How's everything going with y'all? And I'll y'all, either one of y'all go first and just just do a brief introduction on yourself, man, and how you're involved with the project, and we'll rock and roll, man.
Go ahead, Steve. That way, in case you end up with a bad connection again, you can at least get yourself introduced.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Steve Young. I am one of the artists on the project. I'm also known as Aluris on Twitter. What do you want to know about me? I've been an artist since I was a young child. I started at the age of 5.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Age of 5. My art's always been an out for me. I kind of grew up in a rough upbringing, right? No
Sure.
dad, mom wasn't around. I get dumped off a lot. Sorry for the horns in the back. You get dumped off in a lot. And my grandmother's, she was an artist, and she always taught me to use anything I was facing through my art as an out. So
Sure.
She always told me, if you feel pain, draw, Steve. And if you're happy, draw. Sad, scared, whatever, you draw. And that's what I did. So I always used it as a almost like for my mental health, right? Even as a young child. So
that's awesome, man.
A little bit about me. I just love to draw. I never sold art. Pete, the other artist on our project, he has a little bit more cooler story than I do when it comes to his awards and being involved in Marvel Comics and things like that. My art I've always just given away, right?
Sure.
I always felt like I was giving that pain away as part of a happiness, right? I see somebody else get happy, and it kind of threw that little piece of pain away from me, or that baggage I had inside my mind. So, and it's something I always like to tell people is when I start off to draw something, I never have a plan what it's going to be.
Sure.
I start with a circle. Even all the DRACO Leopards, I'll start with a circle, and then I start telling a story in my head, and something comes out of it. So
that is super cool, man. That's
a
great story. That's a great story, man. I love it. Yeah, that's any kind of outlet, because I mean, I know there's a lot of mental health issues in the world, man, and to find an outlet to help deal with that kind of stuff is super cool, man. That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool. I like that.
Yeah, put a smile on someone's face too, right? It helps their
absolutely
day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you never know what somebody else is dealing with. You do something for them, and just something simple, you do some kind of a little drawing even, and it may change their life, man. You know what I mean?
Right. I just leave them places too. It's funny, I'll just leave them random places for them to find.
Really?
Yeah.
That is super cool.
I don't even know who finds them, but I know they get found.
Very cool. When did you get into crypto? How long ago? Kind of into the crypto scene?
So the crypto scene, I started about 4 years ago.
Okay.
But it was just dabbling in it. I was more in the stock market.
Sure.
I actually got brought on. I'm a director of operations and engineering for a company in Cleveland, and we had an actual contractor come in. It was my lunchtime, and I was on the stock market, and he asked me, he goes, "Do you know anything about crypto?" I'm like, "No, I haven't really messed with it yet."
Yeah.
So cool stories. He told me to buy Dogecoin. That was 4 years ago. I bought $500 worth of it. So it was about 2.5 million coins. So when I sold at 62 cents. So
nice.
So it tells you I made some good money off of that.
Dude, totally that's awesome. Accident.
But I started digging into that crypto market, and it was all new territory, so I wasn't quite sure.
Sure.
what I was doing with it. So I just dabbled. I got into it lately in the past year, actually investing as an investment strategy. Because I'm old school, man. I was all stock market. So
Sure.
I wasn't quite sure. I'm looking into companies, and I'm used to looking and reading charts, and I just wasn't able to follow crypto at first. I got a bunch of bands coming past me. I'm going to mute my mic.
Oh, you're good, man. No worries. Yeah, he's guys. If y'all don't know, he's got a parade going right near where he's at. So it's he's got a little background noise coming through, man. Well, he's waiting for that to pass. I'll let you do a little intro too, brother. Go for it, man.
Yeah, you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
And I apologize to your audience like I did to you for my voice. I woke up with my voice going this morning.
Oh, you
And
sound fine, man. No worries.
and he, I'm on a drilling rig, so I'm in work clothes. So if you see me mute and talking to somebody come to ask me a question. But
oh, you're all good, brother. Do what you do, man.
my name's Jeremy. I'm project manager and co-creator on the DRACO Leopard game. I kind of, me and Steve and Pete all had different upbringings, but kind of the same. Some rough things happened in our childhood, and me and Steve met through another situation, and really just hit it off. We kind of have the same mentality. We both like to give, and try to give people an opportunity, like he likes to say all the time, a door to walk through.
Sure.
I've been in crypto for probably 6-7 years, and I got into it on accident. Really, I bought some crypto to use for a purchase and forgotten about it, what was left of it. I had a couple $100 left of it. One
Sure.
day I was like, you know what, this crypto stuff, I've been hearing about it a lot again. So I went and checked that wallet, and it had grown to like $2,000 or $3,000. I was like,
Nice.
okay, it's time to start really doing my research. So I started doing research and watching videos and hanging out in the community, and that's how I got involved with crypto. And
Very
then
cool, man.
the NFT stuff came along, and that's like I tell Steve all the time. I can't even hardly draw a stick figure, but I have a creative mind. I just don't know how to get it out. So I
Right.
get it out in other ways.
Sure.
And I can tell him and Pete something that I thought of, whether it's storyline or art or whatever, and both of them can just knock it out of the park. And I had the crypto background. He had a really strong business background and stock market background, and then of course the artistic ability. So it was kind of the perfect match, since we all had the same, kind of moral standards and everything. It just
Yeah.
worked.
Absolutely. Yeah, great combination to do what you want to do. That's cool. Yeah, see, I
Yes,
can't
sir.
draw for crap either, man. I cannot draw. I've done graphic design for years. And I used to run a company doing like vehicle wrap, stuff like that. So I've got same way. I've got the creative mind, but when it comes to drawing, I suck at drawing. It's terrible. But that dude, that's super cool, man. Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Steve, you in the clear, man?
Yeah, it's a lot quieter now.
Good deal. I see one of my loyal followers here, Selmo Fudd. What's up, buddy? He said TX Tornado Crypto and DRACO Leopard Gang. You in Cleveland? Yeah, so you're in Cleveland, Steve?
Yeah, I'm up in Cleveland.
Very cool, man. That's awesome. Yep, and I'm down here in Texas, along with you, Jeremy. You're in the other side of Texas, so, but it's we're
Well, I
there's a lot
live
of
I live
Texans,
on
man.
I live on that east side of Texas, north. Up there, 2 hours east of Dallas, about 45 minutes west of Shreveport. But I'm out here in West Texas
Yeah,
working, so
you're out past Longview and all that area. That's cool.
I'm right next to Longview. Longview's on one side of the interstate, and where I live's on the other, Kilgore.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly where that's at, man. I do. Let's see here. We got I'm gonna just do a couple introductions. Seiko Hunt is in the building here. I see Raph is Cool's in here. Leah W is in here. What's going on, Leah? I haven't seen you before. I don't know if you're a follower of DRACO, or if you just found my channel. I appreciate you being here, though. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, yeah, guys. Just I guess we could go from here. Like, when did you guys start thinking about doing a project like the DRACO Leopard? When did that all come about? How long ago?
Steve, we've been working on it for about 4 months, I think.
Yeah, about 4 months ago.
Very cool. And so you guys have just been steadily just building the community, kind of like we were talking about, Jeremy, just working on building the community. You haven't set a mint date yet because you really want to just get that community completely built and strong and everything put together prior to launching the NFTs, which is completely opposite of what almost every other project does. And I like it, man. I think it's a great idea. That's super cool because then you got the strong community. It's not all about just launch date, hype, and then it's just gone, and you see it time and time. Every day there's projects that launch, and that's what they do, but they don't have a community behind them. So if you don't have a community,
Yes,
it's like what's the point? You know what I mean?
Well,
right.
and the other thing that we, just as the community aspect, but it was also, our focus was on the education of the NFT space, the education of our project, right?
Sure.
For the community. I want to have time to build relationships within the community along with the networking aspect,
Yeah.
and also making them understand what they're going to be investing in. It's super important for us.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Very
Yeah,
cool.
and a lot of projects, like you said, they mint and then they build the community, and a lot of times I know you're going to have flippers and and some of these projects are actually getting people in that are kind of controlling the market a little bit,
Yeah.
and you can kind of minimize that a little bit if you already have a community that's ready to go when you drop your mint.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's super smart.
And there's nothing wrong with flipping. I kind of follow that 3 rule. Flip one, keep one, and then have one that you can sell later.
Same here. Same here. Yeah, I do the same thing. I see Doc Hunt's in here. What's up, Doc? How's it going, brother? He's I was talking to him a little bit ago. He's doing a Crow Day on Twitter right now. So he's multitasking, man. He's in here showing some support and
We
doing
love
that. So
Doc. We
oh
love
yeah.
Doc.
Yeah,
Well, so,
that's my buddy right there, man. Yeah, exactly. And Leah said, "It's Riz. What it do? Showing support, fam. What's up, Riz? How's it going, bro? Appreciate you being here always, man." Yeah, so I'm gonna jump over. I know you guys sent me an updated roadmap, so give me 1 second here. I'm gonna just pull it open, which y'all probably won't be able to see it completely because there's a lot written out on it, but I'm just pulling it up kind of for my own sake. Let's see here. There we go. So yeah, so you obviously you got some sneak peeks out and everything, and you got the social media going and everything. What how is things coming along as far as like do you guys do a Discord, Telegram, website, all that good stuff? What's the process or the where are you at in the process of all that stuff?
The link to our Discord is on our Twitter. For
Okay.
those that don't know, at Draco Leopard is our project Twitter. And in that bio, it's got the Discord link.
Yep.
As far as the website is actually coming together as we speak.
Okay.
Because we wanted to make sure it was right and that what we had in our roadmap was 100% doable. And before we launched the website, and it's still not going to be complete. We're just going to go ahead and launch it with the information we have now and add to it as we go, because we'd like to, down the road, add the wallets, all of the project wallet, community wallet, our wallets, where everybody can see where the money's at and where it's going.
Gotcha. Yep, that makes sense, man. Makes sense. Very cool.
yeah, we have some, outside business ventures that I got to solidify that will bring liquidity into the project as well. So, me, I'm the type of person I like to present something when it's complete. Just coming from the business world, that's just the way it works. But unfortunately, I had to change my way of thinking, and I say unfortunately because I'm so used to it, right?
Sure.
Which is a good thing. And we reach out and ask the community. We ask other project holders and their advice, right, and their constructive criticism. And they suggested that we go ahead and get that website out there, so that people get used to going to it. And you bring it in. We have sneak peeks of the art. We have our roadmap. So all that other stuff we can add to it as we're giving out the information.
Sure. Yep.
So we keep our ear to the pavement and do a lot of listening, to see what people want.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's another thing is like involving the community, as you're doing this building phase right now. That's super cool. So people actually have a voice in what's going to come in the future, with the project and everything. So it's super awesome. And I've been hearing about it for a while, man. Like there's a lot of hype being built up around it already. So I mean, whatever you guys have been doing thus far is definitely working. You know what I mean? So you got some of the sneak peek artwork out and everything. So I guess a couple of questions as far as artwork and stuff. Do you have it kind of narrowed down to how many NFTs are going to be in the collection and everything?
Yeah, it's going to be a 10K project initially. The Draco Leopards themselves are going to be 10K. There will be some future mints for weapons, exoskeleton, and then the enemy, which is called the Hermaphyte. But the way that we're going to do that is we're going to have some burn mechanisms where you don't have 40,000 NFTs diluting your project. We're going to be able to burn it back down to the original 10,000 with some combinations where you get your weapon, your exoskeleton, then it can be combined with the original, and you're back down to 10,000 because it burns the old ones.
Very cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's definitely awesome. Because otherwise, a lot of projects that get super diluted because there's so many NFTs, and then it's like, you could have some combinations and stuff that could be super rare if you start burning it down like that. So that's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
And I've got a special guest here, a little surprise here. I'm going to bring him up real quick. What's up, Doc?
Oh, there's Doc.
Hey, what's up, guys?
He's here in person, multitasking as always, bro. Always multitasking.
What's up, Aluris? What's up, Jeremy?
What's up?
How you doing, sir? Love your face off, brother.
Love your face off too, bro. Hey, Jeremy, just FYI, you got a little bit of feedback in your mic.
A little bit, yeah.
That's what I was just gonna say. It's a little staticky. Got a little static in it.
So I just wanted to come up and show my support. I'll kind of remain here, but I'll have my mic muted. You can ask me questions, and I'll unmute, and then that way I don't interfere with the sound of Crow Day. And
Sure.
Well, I can do both. When my world can be shrunk down to this big of a bubble, I can actually multitask pretty well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and if you've got questions or stuff you want to bring up, Doc, at any time, you feel more than free to chime in. You know what I mean?
Right down there, about halfway through, the one thing that I sent a message to Jeremy about is the 5 silver Dracos. I want to make sure we touch on that this time. That was to me and personally, I think that's such a huge part that people don't. It's like it gets walked over really fast, but there's so much with those just 5 pieces that is,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, take your time, build up to it. But I just, I wanted to make sure that got touched on this time for sure.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. So
I got your back always, guys. You know this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we talked about it, about Draco on the phone a couple times now for like an extended period of time, covering some of this stuff. And it's like what you guys are building is like super exciting, man. Like there is some really different and cool stuff that y'all are doing that other projects I've never seen do. So it's gonna be exciting talking about all of it for sure. So now, as far as like the launch and everything for the NFTs, obviously we touched on you haven't set a date yet because you're doing community building, which I think is excellent. Are you going to actually mint them? Are they going to be minted on your own website, or are you guys going to use another platform like a Bezus or something like that to actually launch them?
Right now, we're leaning towards minting through our own website, but that's not 100% because there's a lot of security stuff that you have to take care of, or you don't get hit with attacks and everything when you go through your own website. But we're also keeping our eyes open for different platforms. Also,
Gotcha.
We're looking at a couple of platforms that allow you to also cross chain and things like that.
Okay.
We are the original Draco Leopards are going to be on the Cronos chain, but at some point we would like to cross chain. But for now, I would say we're leaning further towards our own website, minting through our website, but it's still possible. We're going to do whatever is best for our holders in our community, period. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's smart to think ahead on cross chaining, because that's
Hey, Jeremy, what are you
curious.
using to do this? Are you using a phone or a tablet?
Yeah, it's a phone. Am I still feeding back real bad?
Yeah,
A lot of static.
if you go down to the bottom under settings and there's a little thing down on the bottom that says settings. If you click it, you go to audio on the left, click the audio, and there's an echo cancellation. Sometimes if you click that,
Yeah, it's already on.
Okay. I don't know what it is, because you were clear as a bell last time. Yesterday.
It was super clear just a little bit ago too. It's
it
like
could be the connection.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it's Bluetooth, it might be a connection issue.
I mean, we can hear you. Okay. I mean, I just wanted to see if we can eliminate it is all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll swap earpieces again and see if that helps. Sometimes it does.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, no worries, man. Take your time. Let's see here. So I'll give him a second to do that. So yeah, so in the collection, there's going to be 10,000, the mint collection on Cronos blockchain, of course, to start talking about cross chaining. In that mint, there's going to be some customs that are like random mints, in different rarities and things like that. So if you guys want to touch on that a little bit, like I know just glancing at it, and I've talked about this with Doc too, there's going to be a golden Draco leopard, and then there's going to be 5 silver Draco leopards.
Correct.
And if there's anything else that's super rare ones or whatnot, if y'all feel free to touch on those real quick. That'd be cool.
Go,
you want to go with this one?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You're so getting some bad. So just so everybody's aware, the 10K drop, there's going to be 5,000 females, 5,000 males.
Okay.
So the females are at a 3/4 turn, and that's all the art that I've been putting out now is sneak peeks of the female, but none of the traits you're seeing in the art right now are going to be in the drop. They're all going to be just for the OG drop.
Okay.
Nobody's seen the males yet. We're kind of keeping that secret. We're going to start doing some sneak peeks of the males when we get closer to when we get a mint date and things like that. You'll start showing some of the males.
Nice.
And the way we set that up is so that the traits and the rarities are all. There's going to be 5,000 for the female. The females. You're going to have 200 traits for the females, and then you're going to have 200 traits for the males. The males are facing, not 3/4 turn. So that brings the rarity. It squashes it down in a 10,000 collection to actually 5,000 and 5,000, but it's one whole collection.
Sure. Okay.
Right? So those traits that we use on the males cannot be used on the females, and vice versa.
Gotcha.
So the golden Draco, I drew that. Oh man, I was probably about 3 months ago, and when I was designing it, I was like, I see a lot of gold people doing gold stuff. But I wanted that thing to look like real 24 karat gold. And I think if you look at that thing and zoom in, it looks like liquid, gold.
Sure.
And I knew it was special. And when I drew it, it had no purpose at that time. And, I was talking to Jeremy and Pete, and, we decided that we would like to give that's going to be in that 10,000 drop. We'd like to put that in our mint, that single one, and one lucky person that mints that's going to get 2% of our total mint out.
Nice.
So if you do the math, it's quite a bit of money that one person's going to receive.
For sure.
And then and I made the silver ones, and again, I made those, and I knew I wanted to do something special with them. And we had to do a lot of conversating and figuring out what we could do with it, and figuring out how we could write contracts and stuff like that. If you go actually to our Discord, if you're wanting to show sneak peeks of the
that's art, where I seen it, because I seen that gold one, and I was like, where did I see it at? And it's actually it's in the
that's
Discord.
in our Discord in sneak peeks. There's a bunch of art that's in there that people can see some sneak peeks of the OG collection that's going to be.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'll pull that open real quick.
Is my mic any better at all?
Perfect.
100%.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Good.
You're good, man. Perfect.
And did
So
you hit those silver Dracos too?
we're just about to talk about that, and I'll let you explain that because you got a better
Okay.
understanding of that because of the contract and how you got that set up.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Go ahead and finish what you were saying, Steve, and then I'll cover it.
I was just about to talk about the silvers, but
Okay.
you popped in at
You
the
know,
right time.
he just talked about the gold one. I don't know if he said or not, but if you are the person to mint the one gold Draco Leopard,
Yeah, I
you're
told
gonna
him.
get 2% of mint. Now the silver ones, there's gonna be 5 silver ones. Um, we're looking at adding some more stuff to the silvers also, other than what I'm fixing to tell you. But right now, if you when you get the silver, there'll be 5 of them. You will get a one-on-one with the artist of your choice. Out of the 2 artists, they'll make you a custom. You get to talk directly to them, create your custom, and then that custom. Steve's talked about it before. We would encourage you not to put your initials or your name or anything like that on the custom. That way you
Sure.
can resell it. And if you do resell it, every time it resells, as long as you're holding the silver Draco, you will get 100% of the maximum allowed royalties every time it resells.
That's
So
crazy. So
that's
this is
some
going to happen
extra
to 5
utility.
people. This will be
Yes.
five of them.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man.
And then there'll be some regular rarity stuff, like other projects, like a one-of-one type rarity or a
Sure.
1%, 0.5%, those
Yep.
kinds of things too in the mint, of course.
Very cool. That's awesome, man. So yeah, just to kind of reiterate on that. So like literally, if you mint the silver one, you're gonna have the ability to get directly with the artists and customize your own however you want it, like anything that you can think of, basically. And then, but the way it sounds, so like you can make one for yourself. Like you could customize it to like your like if I wanted one for my channel for like NATO Nation, I could do it. But in reality, it'd almost be better to design it to where it'd be appealing like to everybody, where everybody would want it. That way it has more value and you could resell it and it could be resold multiple times and get higher and higher price.
Absolutely.
That's
Right.
cool, man.
And attached to that's going to be the IP rights, and we got some cool stuff about IP. We've been doing a lot of digging, and I've been talking to a lot of lawyers and dealing with the IP rights and the legalities of it, so that we can offer it to our holders. So we'll get into that as we finish talking.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I was battling with my Discord here, getting it open, but I do have it open. So I wanted to pull open that some of those sneak peeks here real quick. Let me pull this over on the other screen so I can show y'all. And I mean, the sneak peeks so far, man, they're super cool looking. I mean, the artwork is extremely detailed. I was trying to find that gold one. That's the one I wanted to.
Gold one might be more at the top.
Is it towards the top? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there it
Right
is.
there it is.
That's crazy. I mean, it does look. It looks like gold. It looks like it really does. It's super cool, man. So that's going to be well, is it going to, so that's just kind of a sneak peek. Is that exactly what it's going to look like, or is that just kind of like the starting point?
That's a sneak peek. I got some stuff that's going to go in the background, but yep.
That's what I figured. Very cool, man.
Hey guys, did you guys cover mint price? A couple people in the chat have commented on.
Yeah,
curious about that.
That's actually my next question. So yeah.
Okay.
Got
Sorry, I'm hearing 90% of it, but there's like a little fraction every now and again where I don't hear. I just wanted to make sure we were all good.
No, you're good, man. Yeah. Let's touch on that. So mint price and all that good stuff. So y'all go ahead.
Well, to make it easy to understand, we base it on the American dollar, okay? And so whatever crypto you're using, it's going to be 200 American dollars for the mint. Where we got that number is looking at our roadmap, what we're trying to provide to the community, what we're trying to give charity-wise, how we're wanting to build out the project, the stuff that we're going to do in the future. That $200 is right in that range of, it's not as expensive as some of the other mints that have come out, but it's not a cheap mint either. But we needed that mint, that $200 mint area to do everything that we're wanting to do in the roadmap. But when you look at it too, I know most people understand, but some people are like, man, that's $200. Well, if you look at it, you're going to get that $200 back pretty quickly. And then you're going to be in profit just from holding, but also have the value of the NFT itself.
Sure. Yeah. And if you, I mean, $200. It depends what blockchain people are used to. Also, I mean, you go to Ethereum and stuff, and $200 really isn't that bad. You know what I mean? A
Right.
lot of mints over there are super expensive, man. So, and it, once people understand, and that's part of y'all building the community right now. Like y'all are explaining, because there's a lot to this project. Like we could break this AMA down into like 2 or 3 AMAs to cover everything. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, sir.
so people, I think once people get a full grasp on like everything that y'all are doing and everything that I've heard, outside of this AMA, just talking with Doc and everything, I mean, there will be value to it. So I get it, man. I completely understand mint price.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the roadmap and you look at the lottery system that we've put in place, that tells you you're getting your original investment back right away.
Sure,
right?
gotcha.
Right, especially if you mint one. And with that with the lottery system and the royalty of holding the NFT, there'll be payouts every quarter.
Yep.
So everybody that holds that NFT will at least get their royalty payout out of that community wallet once a year, right?
Gotcha.
So everybody that's holding that, and it'll be there's a division, there's a mathematical equation behind all of it. But there's also outside liquidity that's coming into the project on merch lines and things like that we've already been establishing.
Sure.
So I'm going to have those things solidified before that drop, right?
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
after the first 30 days of the drop, that liquidity will already start to be flowing into the community and project wallet.
Very cool.
Right off the bat, right?
Gotcha.
And
so
everything
ahead.
that brings liquidity into the project, anything that there's a profit to be made on, is also going to funnel a percent to the community wallet. So we will actually be able to do more than just a percentage of royalty. We'll be able to do other things also, because there's going to be steady flow of liquidity coming into that wallet, not just resales.
Sure. Makes sense. So yeah, so there's going to be, kind of just touch on it, you kind of mentioned it. There's going to be a quarterly lottery giving 40% of the total allowed secondary market royalties back to the holders. So that'll be split up between all the Draco Leopard holders. That'll be quarterly. And you did mention, I'll kind of touch back on it. You are going to be donating, like y'all are definitely big on doing donations. So it looks like the first donation is going to go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. What point will you be at, roadmap wise, when you decide to make the first donation? Like after mint out, or a certain percentage of the mint?
Yeah, after we mint out, immediately after mint out, we will be doing that donation. And what we'd like to do is, make a whole day of it. Go up there, give them the donation. But then we're also talking about purchasing some really nice 3D printers to make action figures and things like that with. So while we're at the hospital, we'd like to be able to visit with some of the kids when we do the donation, hand out some merch, some things like that to all the kids. Make a really big deal out of it. And that's 10% of our total mint is going to go to St. Jude's. Yes, sir.
Dude, that's a good percentage. That's a good percentage, because I know you see a lot of projects, they donate like 1% to charity. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's 1% is 1%, but that's cool. So 10% of the entire mint. That's a good chunk of money, man. That'll be that'll be a good size charity. That's really, really cool.
And our future mints will have some children's charities and stuff also. Dealing with some low income areas where kids don't have access to the best education and things like that. But those mints we're going to let the community help us decide on charity and utility. So that's why they're not actually listed.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool, man. So, yeah, then I'm just kind of moving down the roadmap a little bit here, and y'all interject or interrupt me if need be, if you want to add anything. But so you'll do the, obviously go down the donation, then we kind of touched on that before, where all the community, the NFT holders and everything will have a voice in future things going on and stuff, like a DAO basically, where everybody's got, has their voice and it'll be heard, and you guys will, take that to heart and use that for further donations, things like that, possibly later down the road. And then the next mint after that's going to jump into weapons mint. Is that what would come after the mint out on the original 10,000 collection?
If you don't mind, I'd like to be able, me and Steve, real quick, before we move to that second phase, to go over the IP rights.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do that. That's perfect.
We're absolutely going to give the IP rights, but we're also going to provide a platform. And you guys can thank Steve for this because he's been working hard on this platform, where you'll be able to utilize your IP rights. And, a lot of people either don't know how to use them or they don't have the financial ability to use an IP right to start a business. Sure. We're going to provide the platform free of charge to holders. All you'll have to do is upload your NFT number. You can help with the designing of the merch, but you don't have to. The website will design it. It will sell it. It'll advertise it. It'll ship it. Everything for you. And that will be a 70-30 split on the profit. 70% going to the holder. 30% is going to go back to split between the project wallet and community wallet. So it'll all you got to do is upload the NFT number, and it's all going to be done for you.
That's awesome. So like merch and stuff. So say I own, whatever NFT or several NFTs. So like I'll have the IP rights to that, to where like you can go to that website and you can actually make merch, like shirts, stuff like that. And then y'all take care of getting that all completed, done. And then anything that's sold, 70% of the profits on it will go to the holder, the NFT holder.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, man. I haven't heard anybody else doing that. So that's really cool.
We're also going to let outside, if you have IP rights to other projects, we're going to let them utilize the platform for those also. If you don't hold a Draco, you'll get a lower percentage than a Draco holder. Sure. It won't be a whole lot lower, but if you hold a Draco, then it will stick with the 70-30.
That's cool, man. That's really different. That's interesting.
So, yeah, I'm sorry I caught that, but did you say you're sticking with the 70-30 even for outside projects?
No. If your outside project holds a Draco, it'll stay at 70-30. If they don't have a Draco, there'll be some differences in percentage, but it won't be like a huge
I was about
difference.
to be like, whoa, wait a minute. Buddy, I love you, and that's too much. That's too much community love, buddy. That's okay.
That's really cool, though, man.
It's still cool. It's still awesome. Yeah, but
it's super cool. Though.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked at it and I saw, and I've been watching for 6-7 months, sitting in the rooms, guys. I turned my cam off because I got a bunch of static behind me. But sure. What I looked and watched is everybody's getting IP rights, and nobody knows what to do with them. And some people do, right? Some people have the background, or they have the liquidity to use the IP right. They know how to set up a business. The platform that we're designing is going to be very streamlined for the user that doesn't know how to do it, and also for the user that does. It also will be able to do partnerships as well. The way I'm setting it up, if they want a partnership and set up a shop on that same platform with their merchandise and their product that they're trying to sell, that's within the NFT, they'll be able to do so. But they'll have to hold a Draco Leopard in order to be able to do that. Right.
So they could send. So like if I had Boomer Squad NFTs and I wanted to sell merch with Boomer Squad, if I held a Draco Leopard, I could set it up through that same shop and have like multiple different NFT, products, shirts, whatever I may want to do.
Whatever you want, right? Skateboards. I mean,
dude, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't think about that. The skateboard.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Jewelry. It's just that the company that I'm dealing with, and the platform that I'm setting up, allows us to sell almost anything. And what was cool about it is I can set up thousands of stores if I wanted to, right?
Sure.
So it's a pretty cool format. The way it's going to be set up, the way it's going to be user friendly and utilized, can be utilized for the community. And like Jeremy was stating, when it comes to the actual design, we have designers that will be there. that will design the shirts or hats or whatever merchandise. It's a full team of designers that will do that for you.
Sure.
Or you could do it yourself, right?
Okay.
And this is all in the cost. We've got the cost all figured out with the platform, and that's where some of that 30% comes into play to help with cost of platform.
Sure.
But the main startup of all this is straight before the actual launch of the project. So all that cost has been coming from us at this point.
That's cool. So I mean, you could literally build a merchandise. Anybody could build a merchandise online business doing this. That's crazy. That's super cool. So I mean, that's like a utility that I haven't heard other people do. Have you heard of anybody doing that, Doc, up to this point? I don't know if he's available or not. He might be in the other chat room because he's multi-streaming. But that's really cool, man. I love that idea. I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
And then, trying to think here, I had another question I was going to ask you, and I'm kind of sidetracked here, thinking about all that stuff you were just talking about. So when will that come into play? So like, say, the mint's happening, I go mint 5 Draco Leopards or whatnot. Is the IP rights are immediately, obviously, once you buy it, but how soon can I set up that store if I wanted to? Like if I wanted to start selling merch right away, is it going to be after it mints out, or?
That platform is going to be available as soon as you're done minting. You'll be able to start utilizing the platform.
Okay, cool. So it's not like you have to wait until after the whole collection's minted out or something like that. You can
because the platform is already going to be paid for and ready to go before we mint.
Very cool. That's awesome, man.
And what we're going to do is we'll have merchandise already on there that is our design with our logo.
Sure.
And some other stuff that we're designing. It'll be correlated with the Draco Leopard gang, but not the actual Draco Leopards, because we want our holders to be able to utilize that art for that purpose.
Sure.
So that when we do our 10K mint, every person that mints one of the Draco Leopards will also receive a T-shirt in their liking with. That they'll be able to order. It'll go through that same website and the same platform.
Sure.
And then they can enter their information in there with their NFT. And there'll be a snapshot taken, of course. I think we're going to run it through the Discord
Nice.
just to make it a little easier.
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to pick, if it's a woman's shirt or a male shirt, and their color, and put their what style logo, because we're going to be able to have it to where it's set up with different color logos, but it'll all be the same logo. So they'll get that for free with the mint.
That's cool, man.
That's going to be our gift to them for minting.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm kind of just brainstorming in my mind about it. Like I'm just thinking, like with my YouTube, I could have like a link in my channel description for the merch website.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So people could go see any kind of merch that I have, either had y'all's artist design or if I design certain things, and it could be a link in my description directly too. That's cool, man. I like that idea.
Yes,
I think that's super smart, man. It's different because I mean, you see so many projects launch and they just have staking options. That's their main utility. Hold them and stake them, and to see other streams of revenue and stuff be put into play. That's really cool, man.
Well, and what's cool about it is that, and we could talk, and that's why I suggest people come into our spaces that we hold on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that, because there's a lot behind this, right? It's a lot in depth, but
there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. With this, as you're building that, you're going to have a documentation of stream of revenue that's attached to that IP right, which gives more value to that Draco, right? If you ever want to sell it, you can attach that business with it, and it'll have all documentation, which is cool with the way the platform's set up on the tax purposes and things like that. It's so that it actually adds more value to the Draco itself.
That's awesome.
That revenue.
So if you, especially it'd really add value, especially if you minted a silver Draco and then you made a custom. You were one of the 5 people that made a custom one, and then you started selling the merch and stuff along with that through the merch store. You know, I mean, the value of that NFT would just keep going up and up. That's crazy.
Exactly. And that's why I say when we do custom, understand the actual rights you have to that, and that you can, anything anybody can think of, we can create. And once you're able to create that, we can create it for it to be whatever business you're looking to pinpoint, right, or target.
Sure.
And that's what's cool about that. It gives you that ability to, if you already have a business in mind and what you're trying to capitalize on, you come to us with that design, and then we can create the background. We can create everything that's going to be for that business.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great idea, man. So, so that, we kind of touched on all that and this is a lot, guys. So everybody's in the chat. I'm trying to limit how much we talk about in one AMA. So because you guys will get overwhelmed, but, and we can always do, another AMA here in the future and kind of touch on some more stuff, that way we don't cram too much information into one AMA. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The only thing that I would ask, because I love getting it out, is that we have saved time at the end of this or whatever to kind of summarize the storyline, and that everything else I'm good. You want to do another AMA for? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you guys are more than welcome if you want to kind of jump into that, kind of summarize it, because we basically went through phase 2, and then up to the point where we're talking about the weapons drop and stuff, and we can touch on that now if you guys want to. If you want to wait and touch on that on the next one, you're more than welcome.
We can do that. We can do that in the future if you'd like. Just know that the weapons. Yeah. Just know that the weapons and the exoskeleton mints are going to be able to combine with whatever Draco that you have, and you'll have time to kind of secondary market or whatever to find the one that you want to combine with.
Sure. So if you mint some weapons and you want something different, just go on the secondary market, buy it. You can combine it with any NFT that you do mint. That's super cool, man.
Yes,
Very
sir.
cool. What's up, that guy? See everybody in the chat here, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out here. Yeah. So let's jump into that, guys. Kind of do a summary of the storyline thus far.
Just be careful. You're gonna get sucked in, bro. This story, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They have got.
And I'm not even the best at telling it. Pete's actually the best at telling it.
And I love you to death, but you are not the best at telling it. The dude that is, it's because he's so good at telling it. Yeah. That's why. It's not because you're bad at it. It's just because he's amazing. Bro, the story is
that's what Jeremy said when we were backstage. He's like, dude, he reads it like a book narrator, like an audible book narrator.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, the story itself, before you touch on it, I just want everybody to understand that this story, this adventure, it will be a cartoon someday. It will be a comic book someday. The utility that they're offering about voice acting in this, once you start hearing how this is all going to play out, this is a major utility. The possibilities of this are exponential. I mean, you show up, you do the voice acting, and you knock it out of the park. Guess what? Seth Green's calling you to be a voice person for Robot Chicken or whatever. Like,
right?
It's a door that they're opening for you, and it just.
That's once you started telling me just touching on the story, last week or whatever about Draco and what all this stuff that you're kind of mentioning right now is like, dude, I've got to get them on the channel and talk about this stuff because this is like next level what they're wanting to do.
Yeah. So please, I mean, hit him with it, buddy. I just wanted to give everybody a nice warning about getting sucked in because it's gonna catch you.
Yeah.
Right. When Pete tells this story, it sucks me in, and I know all about the story. Right. I help. Yeah. I'm talking about. We're back and forth. But when it's like I want to be completely silent and listen more. what he is doing for you guys, which is going to be super cool, and we're going to call it, I don't know, something story time with Pete, right? But as he's writing this, he has been doing, recording his voice as he's writing this story. So he's narrating it as he's writing and talking. So we're going to be able to share that chapter by chapter. So when Pete isn't available, unfortunately, because of, situations that happen, like his little baby brother passing away,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It was a freak accident, man. He drowned doing something that he loved in Lake Erie, and it was unfortunate. Young man, 33 years old, very close to Pete, and but Pete's been grinding, man. It's still, even when he's dealing with all this and doing everything he's been doing, he's like, I have something for you guys, because these people are going to be able to listen to me tell this story anytime they want, right?
Sure.
As he's writing it. So I'll let Jeremy talk about that story. He says it a little better than me, because I get a little too passionate about it.
Right.
I'll keep going and going and going. But Jeremy gets to sum it up. He sums it up very well, I believe.
Sure.
But again, guys, follow us in our Twitters. Get into the spaces, and you'll be able to really get captivated by Pete when he tells the story.
And you do spaces every Tuesday and Thursday on Twitter, correct?
Yes, we do every Tuesday and Thursday, except for today. We didn't do it because we're on with you guys, but I'm probably going to start a space after we're done here.
Okay. Very cool, man.
And just remember, listening to this story, you're going to have the opportunity, like Doc was kind of touching on. One of the utilities that we're going to provide with this storyline is when we make this cartoon, whether it's a film or a series or whatever, if you own one of the Draco leopards that's used in that episode, you're going to get the first chance to voice act it.
That's super cool.
So that's another, cool utility.
Yep.
As far as Draco leopards, the Draco leopards are super ancient. Like, they've been around way longer than humanity. They had a homeworld, but their homeworld was destroyed by disease. A direct result of this disease created the hermaphites, which are the bad guys. Now, both Dracos and hermaphites are immortal in the sense that they can be killed, but they don't die of old age or disease or anything like that. And the hermaphites, you need to also remember, are sterile because of this disease. They can't reproduce. So Draco leopards and hermaphites both can travel through time, travel dimensions, travel through different universes. The difference is the Draco leopards have the power, their body has the power to do it itself without technology. The hermaphites actually have to use different forms of technology to accomplish the same thing. So the Draco leopards are chasing these hermaphites because the hermaphites are a lot like Pete always uses the example, locust. Wherever they go, they completely destroy, strip clean, wipe out. They wipe out everything, and they are carnivores, so they wipe out the any species that's there. They wipe out any natural resources. They erase them from history. So the Draco leopards are chasing them through time and dimensions and different planets, trying to stop them. Sure. Now, with that said, there's some reason they keep coming back to Earth, but not destroying us like they do other planets and other dimensions. Come to find out, there is a genetic marker that is carried within humanity. And this genetic marker is from ancient Dracos, or, intertwining with humanity, in our ancient history. And this genetic marker, both the Draco leopards and the hermaphites believe that this marker will give the hermaphites the ability to reproduce again. And if they reproduce, then, they're already a powerful evil force. And if they reproduce and can increase their numbers, that's not a good thing for Draco leopards or humanity or any other planet or dimension. Just a little backstory on hermaphites and Draco leopards before I get into what they did. Both of them can shift to look like different creatures. Dracos can actually go completely invisible to the human eye. Hermaphites can just shift to look like different people, creatures. So Draco leopards and hermaphites have been visiting Earth for a long, long time. So a lot of the legends that we hear here on Earth about dragons, ancient sphinxes, the Greek gods, the Norse gods, Christianity, all of these different gods and creatures throughout time are actually based on Draco leopards and hermaphytes coming into contact with humanity in different forms. So that's where all of our human history with all these different religions and fantasies and things come from. Now, just an example of how they've affected different historical times. JFK. This is one I always tell. John F. Kennedy was assassinated, but there's also a lot of lore and confusion around his assassination on who did it, how it happened, is he really dead, all these different things. And the reason for that is a hermaphite had actually shifted to look like JFK to infiltrate the American government because this genetic marker is only carried in people that reach the highest levels of society, like leaders, musicians, movie stars, ancient rulers, even the bad guys, people like, Hitler's and what was his name, the Khan or whatever from the Asian time. All these people, they've reached the highest level of either leadership or society. They carry the genetic marker. So this hermaphite had infiltrated into JFK, had turned into JFK. JFK is actually still alive. He had been rescued by the Draco leopards, is in a cryogenic state to be returned to humanity at a period when humans can deal with the fact that there's these grizzly bear-sized Draco leopards and hermaphytes that keep coming to Earth. That would freak humanity out at this point. So when JFK was assassinated, it was actually a Draco leopard assassinating a hermaphite. And as humans, we've seen it as JFK was assassinated. Now, this has happened several times, tons of times throughout history. Just for example, Tupac, Biggie, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, some of the ancient pharaohs, some of the great leaders that were either killed, died. One the other day that somebody reminded me of, Elvis Presley. These people may or may not still be alive, but in a cryogenic state because the Draco leopards have rescued them. So they've interacted with humanity and they've affected our history and who we are as humanity throughout time. And the reason that they don't show us Kennedy or these people they've rescued is because that would change humanity at this point. We couldn't handle it. And that's just kind of a summary of what the Draco leopards are, what the hermaphytes are, and what they're doing here.
That's cool. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting storyline. And so as the project unfolds further and further, I'm sure there'll be like more chapters written to the story as it continues on.
And the great thing about them being interdimensional, other projects that we want to work with, we'll use an example. Everybody, let's say the boomers. I know Doc's in the boomers. If we want to work with the boomers, you just need to think the boomer that you're holding right now could either be a hermaphite or a Draco leopard phased to look like a boomer. So this gives us the ability to, work with other projects and collab and everything else, and still they can be a part of the Draco leopard history and storyline.
That's cool. Super cool, man. Are you gonna have the community? Are they going to be involved, or the holders of the NFTs to help write some of the storyline or anything?
I can tell you this because we're so community based, and because the way Pete is, if a community member has a great idea, he'll have no problem putting it in the story and working it in.
Super cool. That's awesome. And I seen Selma Fudd said earlier, what's up, Selma? If you're in Cleveland, Ohio, so am I. Is there more local involvement? So are you going to do any kind of like local charity events or anything in the Cleveland area, Steve? Oh
yeah. Steve?
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm glad somebody actually asked that question. I have good ties with a lot of the lodging and industry and the convention centers and stuff downtown Cleveland because of my business affairs that I deal with. So yeah, I have some pretty cool not ideas, I want to say workings that are going on right now to bring some events, because we have things planned for in real life events for the holders that we'll be able to supply to them. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I'm glad somebody did mention that because cool. Yes, I'm working extensively right now to solidify those deals with some of the hotel chains and brands that are in Cleveland, along with the Downtown Cleveland Alliance, along with the lodging industry. So there's some
Cool.
pretty cool stuff that I got in the makings right now. And also
Nice.
with community centers, right? The one thing that I'm really focused on is inner city community centers, bringing this technology, Web3, the metaverse, financial literacy, to be available for these children and young teenagers that are growing up in an atmosphere like I did, that's not readily available to them, right, guys? I mean, school doesn't teach you it very well, and if you don't have parents or the proper upbringing that is teaching you financial literacy, if nothing's there, you got to try to figure it out yourself. And I know that. I dealt with it, right?
Sure.
It took me a long time, and I think I was the age of 25 before I became man enough to ask somebody. I don't know how to be a man, and I don't know I don't know how to do anything with finances. And it was just by the grace of God that I sought that out. Not everybody thinks that's available to them. Not everybody sees that door that's in front of them, right?
I didn't look for it till I was 40, brother. So
Right.
trust me, having that financial support, man, for kids especially, like, because I try to teach my kids and I don't know crap. If I would have been trying to seek this out and learn this stuff from, like, the time I was 18, the possibilities of where I'd be right now are, I mean, I can't even fathom. Honestly, I couldn't even comprehend where I would be if I would have had someone like you guys teaching me, like, right out of high school or even still in high school.
Yeah, even as a kid. Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much money I've made in my life that I just wasted.
Well, and then
Dude.
Jeremy's
Oh my
a veteran,
God, me too.
right. I mean, I know, Doc, you're a veteran. Jeremy's a veteran, and I go downtown to Cleveland, right, on a regular basis. And unfortunately, Cleveland, they shut down their mental hospitals, and a lot of our veterans are out there on the street, brother. And that's something that I'm focusing on. I do have connections with some public officials that are involved in Cleveland. And I reached out to them and I said, we need to learn, we need to help, right? We need to get out there. There's guys out there, and I've met several that I've actually was able to get them into a home because they thought they couldn't. And they had the funds and the availability to them, right? They just didn't know. The one guy, unfortunately, because of his mental state, he thought he had this card that just magically had money on it. He lived in an alley, right, and would go to the store, and he just knew the card worked, that he could buy something to drink or buy his cigarettes, but he thought that's all he had was just to do that. And come to find out, this guy's got, he could easily afford to, have his own place. So we got him hooked up with that. So that's some of the stuff I'm focusing also on.
That's cool, man.
So when someone talks about Cleveland, yeah. And then whatever, Jeremy, Pete lives by me. So this area we've got locked down. And then whatever Jeremy on his end is going to want to lock down in the Texas area.
That's what I was thinking. I'm in the
Oregon.
DFW. I'm in DFW area. So there's a lot of stuff that could be done around Dallas-Fort Worth area for sure, man.
Well,
Portland, Oregon's got one of the largest homeless veteran populations in the country.
Who does?
And you'd be really
Portland,
surprised.
Oregon.
You'd be really surprised. I live in a rural, country area. You'd be really surprised the amount of kids and vets and things like that have it really, really bad in these areas too. I know it's not condensed like the city, but I run into them all the time, man. All the time. Kids that eat. The only time they eat's when they go to school, so they get there early so they can have a breakfast and a lunch, and that's all they get.
Man, that's tough, bro. That's super tough. What's Selmo say? I'm a Desert Storm Army veteran, and the VA Medical Center on Wade Park is where I go for treatment. But you're right, it is bad. So we got another veteran.
Thank you for your service, man. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely, Selmo. Appreciate you, man. Always.
Us vets got to stick together, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm not a vet, but I've got many family members that are veterans and many great friends that are. So I respect the hell out of everybody and give my 100% support to anything to help with veterans, man. It's super awesome, man.
That guy, if there's a way that he can get in my PM, since he's right by me and he's already intertwined and involved in the VA, if he has a Twitter or if there's a way I can get connected with you and through him,
Yeah,
so
for
that
sure.
I'd love to meet the guy and see what resources that he knows. Right. I'm
Hey,
told.
Steve, I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I won't call them out on here because this, I don't know if they want to be called out on YouTube or whatever, but I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Oh,
We
do
can
you?
connect with
Okay.
them.
Well,
We can connect with them pretty easily. Let's put it that way.
if you don't get a connection, Selma just for some reason, if y'all don't get connected, Selma just hit me up on Twitter, and then I'll get y'all in connection or whatever. That'd be super cool.
Laura, so you should. Well, I mean, it's my mom works for the state, but she works for an organization that she's a VA advocate. She takes veterans and argues their cases on behalf of the veteran against and with the VA. So she doesn't work for the VA, but she works with the VA to try and help other veterans and stuff. I don't know what resources as far as nationally she could provide, but I can tell you that she could probably put me in touch with, or you in touch with, somebody that has those nationalized.
It is the organization you're talking about, Doc, is available in pretty much every state. I used an organization, might even be the same one in Texas, that they fought for me for my disability, my VA disability rating and stuff. So it's a great program.
The only reason I got 80% is because of my mom, and I ate a 500-pound bomb for breakfast. I should be 100%, but I had to fight tooth and nail with my mom's help and her coworkers' help just to get that. I mean, I can't be in heat over 75 degrees for too long or I black out. My anxiety, my PTSD, what I've told you guys numerous times about only half my brain working. Yeah. And yet they still won't put me at full disability.
That's insane, man. That is absolutely insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Well, that's what's great about these spaces, YouTube, Twitter, social media, crypto in general. Like, man, just making connections, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to meet that can help add to the good of all of this, So I love it.
There could be an amazing person that you never thought you'd ever talk to behind a PFP. You just never know.
Yeah. Exactly. 100%, man. I've met some super great people in this space thus far, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come.
I've got a really great friend that I've met in these spaces, and he lives in Croatia. Another one in the UK.
Oh yeah,
it's like never in my life did I think that I would pick up a phone and call a guy that's in Florida down there, text, and they'd be like, "Hey, bro, how's your day going? Like, let's chat."
Yeah,
and that's something else. That's something else that it's in our roadmap. There's a hint to it in our roadmap. Something else we'd like to do in the future is we want to have some holder events, and trips and things that bring, people from all over the world that hold Draco leopards together in real life. So that's something else we're looking at too.
Very cool. Yeah, there's a lot to it, man. I'm super excited for everything to keep developing and more stuff to come out and, get closer to actually the mint date being released. So there is no mint date, guys. If y'all haven't been here since the beginning, there's not a mint date yet. They're really focusing on building the community and just getting everything put in place perfectly before they set a mint date, because there's a lot of stuff that they're working on, and including the story of the Draco Leopard gang
and the IP rights. I mean, building that platform. I mean, they want to be ready to go.
The IP rights and the cool, like you said, the voiceovers. Like if you own an NFT as they're building this Draco Leopard gang story,
that stuff doesn't happen right away. And so many projects they mint, and then you have to wait for 6 months for the next thing, or the big part of why you minted. And it's just like, well, during that time span, 4 other projects came out that are offering almost the same thing now. So you guys waiting to mint until you got everything ready, so you just mint and then start going. And it's I love
it's a great idea, man. I do too.
Having that community, that special community built and ready to go for mint day, makes you super strong compared to, a lot of projects that are struggling to mint out because they didn't build
They
a
did,
community first.
e-
So it's very important.
exactly. Dude, I just want to have some NFTs and be able to do the voiceover on them on a comic cartoon
There you go.
series of some sort. Dude, that'd be freaking cool, man.
Yeah. And you've got a perfect voice for it. Both you and all three of you guys do. You have your own accents and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you guys I could see all three of your voices like in an NFT like cartoon.
Well,
like,
Steve,
series.
as deep as Steve's voice is, he's definitely going to have to be a hermaphite.
Right? That's hilarious, man.
Oh, that's great.
Right, and another thing that's cool is Pete. He writes children's books, and he is also already established with a publisher. Right, he's already has a contract on his side. So he went to a convention here in Cleveland about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And these people are extremely excited and interested about the NFT world.
Really?
Oh yeah. And he couldn't, once he went there and started talking to them, they invited him as a guest, paid for everything for him to be there. And they started asking what else he was doing. And he started telling them about the NFTs, and they were, tell us more. So we have some meetings that we're going to have with them. So, I mean, those things are already in the process, right? In the role.
Sure.
Pete being already established with Marvel Comics, he's a comic guy too. So, it's just all around, his talent is just amazing when it comes to writing. His connections he already does have that he's established over the, his course of his art career. It just brings more to the table for us to even provide. And those are some of the things that, it'll be cool for the community to decide which direction we go with it. Right.
Sure.
And how do they want to play part in that? And what's best for the investment? That's the one thing that is going to be, if you look, all our percentages are up front and out there. You guys see what I get paid. You guys are going to see what Jeremy gets paid, Pete gets paid. How much goes into the community wallet, the project wallet. You guys will all have access to that, so you see it.
Everything's black and white, just
black and white. I already have a 5-year business plan written out, so it's
LLC.
there.
We got the LLC. Yes.
Yeah, LLC,
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I'm working on trademark, and all this other stuff I'm working on all that stuff. Things aren't just you click your fingers and it gets done. Just the
time,
LLC
man.
alone. Yeah, the LLC alone here, for some reason, and their excuse is lack of employment, which it could be, right? Resources on their end. I said it was 3 months ago. I filed for the LLC.
Really?
I'm still waiting for the paperwork.
Wow.
They told me it could be up to 6 months, and that's in here where I'm at. So,
Sure.
and I've got several other LLCs, and it never took me that long. So,
yeah.
Just that's the type of stuff that I want to get done, and that's what I like about being in the bear market too.
Builders market, baby. It's the builders market.
Builders market.
Yep.
Investment. I've made the most. I've been in the stock market for a long time, so I've made the most money during the bear market, right?
Sure.
So that's where it's like, even on that side of it, as we invest other avenues and other liquidity that we have with the project. It's fun for me. I just have a lot of fun with it, guys, and I appreciate you having us on here, man.
Dude, this has been awesome, man. It's getting even more. I'm pumped about it. I'm really excited for this project, man. There's not a lot of I've invested in multiple NFTs, but there's not a lot of NFT projects that I've dug into that are like really captivating. You know what I mean? So what you guys are doing is super cool, man. Captain's channel, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and reach out to these guys. Jump on their Twitter and reach out to them, man. Especially veterans and stuff, man. Y'all reach out and make some more connections with these guys and stuff. Rores said, I feel your pain. I'm also a disabled veteran rated at 40%. Have the American Legion still fighting now for 12 years. And still waiting on a court date. Familiar with VA homeless in Tucson.
I feel you.
That's rough, man.
I mean, I got blessed. I was lucky. I was so lucky, and I still am getting screwed. So I mean, I feel for you, and I wish there was a way that I could help each and every one of you. And
yeah,
I mean, if
It's
I knew
tough,
there
man.
was a way or a way to tell you or a place to tell you to go to get a better outcome, I would tell you. But I mean, it's unfortunate that I hear that story
Yeah.
100 times a week. I mean,
Yeah.
and
It
it's
happens.
that's
Happens a lot.
just a nightmare to think about.
Yeah. Well,
Happens
what
a
I
lot.
can say is and I'm sure all these guys will say it too. On my platform, Rores, man, you're welcome here. Hit me up if you need to talk anytime, brother. That's what we're here for, man. It's a safe space just to, to grow more people together, make a stronger community in crypto, and you bring more people together. So that's I'm here, bro. So if that's
And
the
the
least I can do
community,
is talk to people or have an ear to listen, I'm here,
And
man.
for anybody who
the community can change your whole outlook. I promise you, because I've told this before. I used to not be the most positive person on the planet,
Yeah,
and getting involved with some people in real life, and then the crypto and NFT community,
yeah.
and has really, really changed my outlook. And now I'm 100% straight positivity, writing affirmations. I'm totally on board with it because of a lot of it because of the community. So it can change you. I promise. I was in dark places and it brought me to the light.
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah, and
super
for
cool.
all of those of you guys out there that value my opinion on good people, I always claim to tell everybody that my brain doesn't work so well with the technical side and the numbers and connecting all those dots, but I know when people are spouting BS, and these guys have been amazing. I couldn't recommend a better group and a better community to be involved with. And it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not telling you to go
No.
out and just drink the Kool-Aid, but definitely go have a chat with them. They're all open, man.
You don't have to buy an
open.
NFT. You don't have to buy an NFT or anything, but hit them up. Go and jump on Twitter and shoot them a DM and stuff, and just link up with more people, man. So
Everyone is welcome in our community. Everyone is welcome in our community, even if they don't have the money to purchase one of the NFTs. If you hang around and you're sincere, I bet you end up with one at some point.
Right?
That's
cool, man.
I would say that's exactly who they are. I mean, that's the type of people they are. That would not shock me at all.
Yeah, that's cool. Dang, Rory said he lost. Has a pretty rough right now. Lost his money on Voyager. That dude, Voyager. Oof. That's brutal, man. There's a lot. I know a lot of people that lost a lot of money on Voyager, man.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Just hang in there, brother. We'll follow me, follow these guys, like and subscribe to Texas Tornado. We're gonna bring you people that are gonna help you, somehow or another. Just
one way or another. Yep.
Just keep your head up.
Well, we'll this has been a great AMA, man. This is super good AMA. I see Jesse, Crypto Man, your Sphinx, Sphinx Soldier. They're all in here. Great part of NATO Nation, man. They're always here showing support from Sphinx Labs project. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, NFTs do look dope. They really do, man. Like the artwork is absolutely sick. So, guys, I appreciate everybody being on here. Doc, Jeremy, Steve, y'all are awesome, man. Let's I'll shoot y'all a DM. I know you guys are wanting to do a Twitter space here this evening, so I'll try and jump in there if you guys do one and come hang out at least for a little bit. And let's I'll shoot you a DM though. Let's plan on setting up another AMA here in the near future, man. We can talk about more of the roadmap and just visit, man. Just talk about things, and people have questions, they come in here. Just need an ear to
I never thought in a
listen,
million years I'd have my face on a YouTube channel, man. Never in a million years.
I didn't either.
I am serious. I swear to God, I would have bet you $1 million. If you'd have talked to me 6 months ago, I'd owe you for the rest of my life. I'd have lost that bet so fast. But Tex Tornado and Chaka Crypto, and those guys, they're good people. If you want to we came on. I got invited by Chaka. I texted him at like 2:00 in the morning or something like that, crazy. And I'm just like, hey man, you awake? Because I wanted to talk to him about you guys. And his response was a link to his stream. And I stayed up until like 3:40 in the morning, just talking and BSing, just
dude, we were up all night. That was crazy. Well, yeah, guys, I appreciate everybody being here, everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. Y'all go follow DRACO Leopard's gang on Twitter and check them out. Just give them a look, shoot them a message or whatnot, show some support, tell them NATO Nation sent you. Steve, Jeremy, Doc, I appreciate you guys being on here. And like I said, we'll get another one set up here in the near future and talk more about it. And yeah, y'all, everybody have a great evening. Any final words y'all want to tell everybody before we end it here?
Just thank you for having us on, man, and always try to help the people around you, because helping others is going to lift you too.
Absolutely, 100% agree, man.
Absolutely, brother. I just want to thank you for having us on here.
Yep.
I greatly appreciate it. You took your time out of your life to sit here and showcase our project, talk to us, learn about us. Speaks volumes for who you are. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And like Jeremy said, man, I was taught a while back by my mentor, Tim Meyer. He told me, Steve, he's a COO and, GMs, and he's, a president, all this other stuff for these companies. And he goes, Steve, I hired you because you know how to do your job. And my job is to build you to be successful and everybody else around you. And that's how I become successful. And he said, I want you to look at everybody that comes in front of you and how can you build them to be successful and help them progress in their life. And that was some of the best advice I ever received in my life. And that's how I do things. I'm always looking at a way to show you what your capabilities are, help you open doors, especially if you're willing to run after it, right? Get that door open and run through it, brother. Just like what you're doing now, man. Kudos to you, bro. You got a door, you're running through it, and you're gonna do great things, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
And any help we can give, I'm there for you. If you need anything, let me know. If there's any way we can help, we will. All right,
appreciate
sir.
it. Appreciate that, man.
Doc,
Same with y'all.
Love your face off, Doc.
Hey, love your
Doc,
guys' face off too,
bro.
and everybody.
Doc
watching.
ain't gonna have no face left. Doc ain't gonna have no face left.
No, nothing left of him. All right, guys.
Anyway.
Well, y'all have a great night. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys a lot, man. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here.
Call me after we're done.
We'll do it. We'll be back soon with another episode here with them here in the next week or two. So, all right, guys, everybody have a great night. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Good night.
Peace, bro.